we've got a primary coming up in less than a month, really, June 16th. And, of course, if you turn on TV or even the radio, you hear all these ads for governor, lieutenant governor, attorney general, and all this stuff. But we like to spend a lot of time on local races because, in my opinion, it's the local races that really impact our lives more than the governor and lieutenant governor and all of that. What does the lieutenant governor do anyway? I mean, seriously, they call him tourism guru. But one of the races that we're focusing on is a race for Ouachita County Commissioner. It's District 3. The incumbent, Bart Gosen, was here a couple of days ago. We had candidate Chris Shields on about a week and a half ago, and now we've got the third candidate, Matt Mishak. Good morning, Matt.
Good morning, Todd. Thanks for having me.
Well, thanks for coming in. It's nice to meet you. I told you I kind of know your dad from back in the day, and he used to come on the show talking about, everything from Main Street and all these other things.
Oh, yeah, he's long-winded.
So, no, it's good. But, well, it is, like I say, it's nice to have you in studio. So you work. This is kind of an interesting thing because you are actually the foreman of District 1, right?
Yes, sir. Worked there 16 years, and about 8 years ago was promoted to road foreman.
All right. Well, tell us about how you got into, working for the county.
Well, I was drilling water wells and was making good money, but wanted something I was home every night, and got to talking to the commissioner at the time, James G., and he said, well, I'll bring you on out there. So.
Well, that's cool. And then you worked your way up to foreman.
Yes, sir. Yep. Started out on the bridge crew, and basically I've done everything out there, but worked my way up running a motor grader and worked my way up to foreman. So.
Now, as foreman, some people would say, oh, now you just get to boss people around. But I would imagine in Ouachita County, the foreman's still out there running the equipment and stuff too, right?
Yeah, there's just a few of us, so there's a lot of days I'll be out on a grader or putting in a pipe or doing something.
Oh, my goodness. So, well, and it's been really dry out there. Of course, you guys went from, 6 to 9 months ago mowing all the time, and now it's been bone dry, and now we got rain. So.
Yeah. We were pulling up a road just the other day, and you're cutting a ditch 2 foot deep and can't find moisture anywhere, so we're glad to have it.
Absolutely. Well, hopefully it'll make the job a little bit easier right now. Well, talk about, because you're running now for the head job. There's 3 commissioners in Ouachita County. Is that how it's broken down?
Yes, sir. Yes,
okay.
Sir.
So District 1, that includes a big portion of Cordell, right?
Yes, sir. A big portion of Cordell, Cloud Chief, Cowden, clear down by Mountain View, Colony, Corn. Yeah.
It's amazing when you think about how big the county is and the area that it encompasses, and a lot of roads.
Yes, we've got just a little over 540 miles of roads.
Wow.
So, and less than 10 guys to cover it.
Yeah, so that takes a while. So obviously, you depend on money from the State Department of Transportation, a little bit of the county money comes in, some federal dollars from the gas tax and things like that, but there's only so much money each year, and so kind of who helps decide what roads get worked on?
The commissioner will do a lot of that. We'll collaborate together and see which roads we need to rock or where we need to spread asphalt at and things like that.
Well, I will say, though, I grew up in Cordell, and one of our big things to do, in high school and stuff, when we first got our licenses, we wanted to break the speed limit, so we went down on all the county roads. And when I was growing up, most of the outskirts of town, the county roads were all dirt, and now almost everything's been chip sealed over the last 20 years. I mean, in many places.
We've got several paved roads. I mean, I'd say about half of them are paved now.
Yeah.
But, they're definitely, as suspensions get better, you get vehicles going faster, and then they slam on the brakes, and you get some rub boards and things like that in the gravel roads.
Well, and over the years, you have replaced bridges. I mean, and that's a little bit sad to me because there were some dumpy old bridges that I used to be able to jump my old Grand Prix over. I can't do that as much anymore.
Yep, we've got a lot of steel and concrete bridges, and whenever I first started out there, I remember placing wooden bridge boards all the time, and now we've about got them all changed out to either bridges, new concrete bridges, or tin horns. So.
That's really cool. So, well, a lot of good work out there, and of course, it all takes time and effort, but money the big thing. And
Big thing's money. Yep. You can do all the work. It just takes money.
well, and so let's talk about that, because in a county like Ouachita County, you don't have a big Walmart or something like that. There's not really a big corporation. Of course, we're encouraged by what's happening out at Spaceport with some
Yes, sir.
aviation
That's a good
industries,
thing.
right?
Yep.
So
Yep, that'll bring some in. Yep.
So what are the challenges being in a county that doesn't have a real big tax base?
Well, you've got to, I mean, you want to make sure you get your main, most traveled roads first, and that's unfortunate sometimes, but that's what you have to do, and do it that way. So.
Well, let's talk about everything else that the commissioners do, because obviously a lot of your experience has been, as a foreman and a crew member working on the roads out there. But a county commissioner, I guess, are you kind of like one of 3 CEOs for the county?
More or less, yep. All 3 of them will have a vote on different things at the courthouse, and yep.
And you're sure you want to start going to these boring meetings every week at the courthouse?
I've been to a few of them filling in for Bart, and they're a lot of fun. So.
Well, and sometimes it's the monotonous stuff of signing off on invoices and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, you'll sign your name about 100 times. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been to a few meetings covering it when Mike or the guys out, and I'm like, do you guys do this every week? But what are some of the other responsibilities that a commissioner does?
Well, you oversee the courthouse, you oversee the jail and things like that. All your roads, everything, you got to take care of that. You got to go over the 2% sales tax and decide where that money's going, and it's really quite a little bit. So.
Yeah, a lot of administrative work, and then you've got to balance time to do all that, but also keep crews working on the roads and stuff as well, right?
Yeah, for sure. Yep. Then you got to keep up with your road end of it and make sure all that's getting done and all that good stuff.
Well, you mentioned the courthouse, the wonderful thing that's happened. I guess it's over a decade ago now, saved up all that money and refurbished the courthouse. And it's always been one of the most beautiful courthouses in the state, if not the, but pretty nice place for all the county employees to work.
Yeah, it's a very beautiful courthouse. I mean, it's known statewide. It's a very pretty place.
Well, I know in talking to Mr. Gosen just a couple of days ago, one of the things that you guys are having to do at the courthouse, which we never even thought about before, was install like metal detectors and stuff. Because a couple of weeks ago we had a lady and somebody else go a little crazy and run up to judges' chambers and stuff.
Yeah, that's the way I'm understanding it. Everybody's going to have to start going through the north door, I believe, and I think they're putting in a metal detector and maybe trying to get a deputy up there and things like that. So
who would have ever thought we'd have? But that's just the world we live in now, isn't it?
That's the world anymore. Yeah.
And I know at Custer County, they've done that for several years. You can only go in a certain entrance and go through all of that. Well, and then you've got all the different departments of the county. You've got the treasurer, the assessor's office, the county clerk and the court clerk and all of that. Yep. Do you get to boss all those people around when you're a county commissioner?
They run all their own offices. We just oversee the courthouse. So.
Okay, I see how that works. Well, speaking of the courthouse, and we heard the current assessor on a news story. He's running for re-election. And I know with lawsuits going on, there's not a whole lot of comment going on. But one thing that you don't hear happening very often in Ouachita County, which has got a lot of buzz, is the assessor is suing the county.
Yes,
so
sir.
you guys have had to lawyer up. But what are your thoughts on that? Do you have an opinion? Or
I hate to say too much with it being an ongoing lawsuit, but I want to say we're right or getting close to $30,000 we spent on attorney fees so far on the commissioner's end. So,
and I think the lawsuit originally was just, I think he said that his budget was cut, didn't think other budgets were cut, but now I'm guessing the lawyer's fees may be more than what he was asking for or close to it.
Yeah, probably just end up all that money will be going to attorneys now.
Well, there you go. That's the way it works. But hopefully we can get that settled soon. I think there's now an official court date coming up in June.
Yeah, I think probably end up reaching a settlement, but I believe that's coming up here, maybe here in the next month or two. So.
But those are some things that you have to deal with sometimes. I mean, I know over in Custer County, one of the things that's been going on over the years is you have inmates suing, and so you have to and you have that insurance group. It's what, ACO?
ACO, yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
So do they handle most of that stuff for you, but your rates go up?
Yeah, they handle most of it, but yeah, rates go up just about every year.
Yeah, gosh. Well, the other thing that's getting so much attention right now is property tax. That's why anybody who's an assessor probably always gets a target on them.
It is a tough job because you're always having to raise rates, and I'm sure you're kind of the public enemy number one.
Yeah, and you guys probably get thrown in with that too. Even though property tax, for the most part, most of it goes to the schools and fire departments and stuff,
most
right?
of it's going to the schools. Yeah, we just get a very small percentage of that.
So, what are your thoughts about the potential changes to property tax? There's going to be, I believe, a state because I get so confused. There's been so many pieces that have gone through the legislature. There have been bills to try to cap homestead exemptions. There's another one that's going to be a state question where we go from a 3% cap on homesteads down to like 1.8%. Originally, it was going to be 1%. Are you concerned about that, or do you think that could be a good thing?
That's going to cut our budget quite a little bit if we do away with it. At the local level, that'll really hurt us if that goes away. Yeah.
But that's the other issue. Some people, I mean, there's even a couple of candidates for governor saying we should do away with property taxes. Others say just do away with property taxes for seniors, which, first of all, I think about my dad and, his limited income as a retired person. But then I think about, well, gosh, who owns most of the property in Ouachita County? I would bet 60% are seniors, right?
Yeah, that's the thing. As you accumulate land and homes over your life, you've got about the most you have towards the end there.
But you also hate that you feel like you never own something if you're constantly paying taxes forever.
Yeah,
so
I completely understand that because you feel like I never really own it if I'm always having to pay every year for something that I've already paid for.
So you're campaigning today that if it was up to you, you would just eliminate all taxes, property taxes, sales tax, and everything. Is that? I'm just kidding. I'm just putting words in. I'm just kidding. No, but that's the thing. All of us hate taxes, right?
Right.
And it seems like we're taxed on everything we do, but that's how we pay for everything, right?
And the good thing is at the local level, you can reach out to your elected officials and talk to them direct. So there's more accountability there.
Yeah. For sure. Yeah. Sometimes, all the money that we send to Washington, we feel like we don't have a say.
Right. Yeah.
Even though we elect these people, and we keep electing the same people, but that's a whole other issue,
right?
Have
no say in any of that. Yeah.
Matt Mishak is our guest this morning. He's running for County Commissioner, Ouachita County District 1. Back with more after this.
First National Bank and Trust of Elk City and Sayre, Beck Trucking, and Southwestern Oklahoma State University would like to congratulate the graduating class of 2026 from Merritt High School.
Hi, I'm Addison Darling, the valedictorian of Merritt High School. My all-time favorite teacher is Mr. Sanders, my criminology teacher. He makes class interesting and not just another place that I have to show up to every day. In the fall, I will attend Western Oklahoma State College to study kinesiology and exercise science. Good luck to my fellow classmates.
The Declaration of Deals sales event is happening now at Cummins Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Weatherford. Whether you're looking for power, performance, or everyday reliability, Cummins has the perfect ride ready to roll. And here's savings you don't want to miss. Drive home in a brand new 2026 Ram truck and get a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty for added peace of mind. Test drive all CDJR models. Cummins Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Weatherford, just off I-40, or at CumminsChrysler.com.
Are you tired of the same old political BS? Politicians making promises that they never keep? Well, Rick Cook's different. He's not a politician. He's tough, hardworking businessman and family man who cares about Western Oklahoma. A Trump conservative, Rick Cook will stand for your Christian values and fight to make America great again.
Hi, I'm Rick Cook. Help me make Western Oklahoma great again. paid for by Friends Rick Cook 2026.
The Clinton Chamber of Commerce invites you to a special legislative lunch and state Senate candidate forum Friday, May 29th at noon at the Frisco Center in Clinton. Enjoy a great lunch catered by the Branding Iron Restaurant and hear from state Senate candidates Brady Butler, Rick Cook, and Jessica Weingart as they discuss the issues impacting Western Oklahoma. Moderated by Nathan Megan, Superintendent of Clinton Public Schools. Seating is limited, so reserve your spot today by calling the Clinton Chamber of Commerce.
Summer's calling. Is your closet ready? Head to It's All About Moi in downtown Weatherford, where new summer styles are arriving every single day. Whether you're shopping for men, women, or the kiddos, you'll find the look, plus the accessories to go with it. Shop favorite brands like Z Supply and Risen. Ready to be named Parent of the Year by your kiddos? Well, check out the massive squishy selection packed with squishies of all kinds. So stop in today and see what's new at It's All About Moi in downtown Weatherford. It's all about moi, where it's all about you.
Once an Obama Democrat, always an Obama Democrat. That's the story with Charles McCall. McCall was a Democrat well into his 40s, even while Obama was president. Called himself a progressive. McCall remained a Democrat for years after Obama became president. In the legislature, McCall voted for higher taxes 20 times. 20 times. Really? And as Speaker, he pushed the largest tax increase in state history. McCall even voted to send your tax dollars to a hospital performing gruesome sex change operations on minors. That's right. McCall sent your tax dollars to fund sex change operations on kids. Despicable. But that's the real Charles McCall. Once an Obama Democrat, always an Obama Democrat. Obama Democrat Charles McCall. Too liberal for Oklahoma. Authorized and paid for by Mazie for Governor 2026.
Pepsi Prebiotic Cola in original and cherry vanilla. That Pepsi taste you love with no artificial sweeteners, only 30 calories, just 5 grams of sugar, and 3 grams of prebiotic fiber. That great Pepsi taste with even more to love. Pepsi Prebiotic Cola. Unbelievably Pepsi.
And all Pepsi products are brought to you locally, as always, by the Nicholson family at Pepsi in Clinton.
Deer Creek Market and Variety in Hydro, the best in friendly small-town customer service, hosting everything from fresh hand-cut steaks, fresh ground beef made in-house, along with fresh fruits and vegetables, grown and made in Oklahoma nuts, candies, salsas, pickles, and more. And don't forget to check out the Variety side, full of unique made-in-Oklahoma gift items. And now, treat yourself to the brand-new ice cream and coffee parlor, your new go-to spot for a sweet scoop or a fresh brew. Shop Deer Creek Market and Variety in Hydro.
It is the Western Oklahoma Wake Up Show, brought to you by Priority Home Medical Equipment of Clinton. Find their location on Gary Boulevard. You need walkers, wheelchairs, power chairs, lift chairs, CPAP machines or supplies. They've got it all. Talk to your doctor. Have them get you a script for medical supplies at Priority Home Medical Equipment. Joining us in the studio today is Matt Mishak. He is a candidate for Ouachita County Commissioner, District 1. Obviously, experience-wise, you said you've been in the county as the foreman for 8 years, but you worked there longer than that.
Yes, sir. Total, I've been there 16 years. So 8 years as foreman. So.
All right. So you got a pretty good feel of the inner workings of it.
Yep. Done everything out there on the crew end of it. Yep. And now getting into more of the budgeting administrative side. So.
Yeah, and that's the big role of the county commissioner. Why do you think you would be the best candidate for the job?
I understand how to do all the road projects very well, and now that I've been on the administrative side of it and see the budgeting and things like that, I think I've got good experience all the way around and ready to take that next step. So
I was going to say, that's just basically what it is. Yeah. I mean, you were a worker, then a foreman, the next logical step,
that's the
right?
last place to go, yep.
All right. So tell people, why they should consider voting for you, because this race is going to be decided, if not in the primary, top two will be a runoff in August.
Well, like I said, the roads and everything, I know how to do all of that. I went to school at Southwestern and studied business. I do understand budgeting fairly well, and I just want to make everybody proud.
Yeah. Well, and you're a Ouachita County guy. You told me you went to school at Ouachita Heights, right?
Yes, sir. Graduated in 07, just a couple of years before they closed. Yep.
All right. And now you've got a couple of youngsters, right?
Yep. I've got Mark and Maverick. Mark's 9 and Maverick's 5, and never a dull moment. Always busy.
and you said Mark is like my son playing baseball, right?
Yep. He's getting into baseball. Every evening we're out playing catch, and I'm hitting him fly balls and everything.
Now, is he doing coach pitch or kid pitch now?
Coach pitch right now.
Okay,
yeah.
Cool. So, well, I was telling you off air, my son didn't do the coach pitch thing, so this is his first year of kid pitch baseball, and it's really interesting to watch the difference in the kids that have never done it.
Oh, yeah.
Never taken pitches from a kid.
Yeah,
and
sure.
some of these kids throw like 60 miles an hour.
They do. It's impressive.
So you guys are going to games all over the place like this. The other youngster probably going to get into it soon, too?
Yep, he's getting ready to start T-ball. So.
Oh, that's awesome. I love T-ball. That was a lot of fun. Well, gosh, it's hard to believe we are less than a month away from the primary election. And it's going to be interesting to see what the turnout is because, sometimes in a primary it's low turnout. But we know we have one state question coming up with minimum wage. So I don't know if that's going to bring out a lot of people or not.
There's quite a bit of stuff on the ballot. So there should be a pretty good turnout, which is a good thing.
It is. We always encourage people to vote. And let's see. I think today is the last day to register, I believe. It may be tomorrow.
I believe so, the 22nd.
Okay, tomorrow. Yeah. So it is this week, yeah. So if you haven't registered or changed your registration, you need to do that if you want to vote. Matt, anything else you just want to tell people before we wrap up today?
I'd sure appreciate your support and your vote. And if you have any questions, you can reach me on Facebook or call me on my phone at 405-892-8738.
All right. Matt Mishak, appreciate you taking some time off work. I'm sure you guys have got a lot of projects that you're working on, but thanks for coming in this morning.
Oh, yeah, I enjoyed it. Appreciate it.
All right. Matt Mishak, he's a candidate for Ouachita County Commissioner. As he mentioned, you can find more about him on Facebook. Stick around. We got state news coming your way now.
News from the Radio Oklahoma News Network. I'm Ann Roberts. Just as the trial was getting started, a man accused of cheating the state out of millions of dollars sees the case against him take a major turn. More from Radio Oklahoma's Bob Sands.
2 former employees of Swadley's Barbecue will testify against their former boss in a fraud trial. Curtis Brooklander and Timothy Hopper pled guilty to conspiracy to defraud the state and will be on probation. Brent Swadley is accused of defrauding the state out of millions of dollars in the failed Foggy Bottom restaurants at state parks.
One person is in custody after 2 fires at separate Walmart stores in Edmond and Oklahoma City this morning. Clothing racks were apparently set on fire inside the store, setting off fire alarms, sending employees outside before opening time. The fire marshal is on the scenes. Arson is suspected, but the investigation is still ongoing. From the Radio Oklahoma News Network, I'm Ann Roberts.
Stillwater Milling has been Oklahoma's trusted source for animal feed for over 130 years and is still locally owned and operated. With 4 AgriCenter locations, you'll find a wide variety of products to help you get all the projects done around your property. But did you know they are so much more than just a feed store? They have lawn and garden, pet supplies, animal health, pasture supplies, and more. There are dealers across the region and an in-house nutritionist to work on custom feeds if needed. Stillwater Milling. Find our locations at stillwatermill.com.
I was live streaming makeup tips when my internet went down. My followers were furious. Like, both of them.
Someone damaged the gas line and our service was turned off for safety. Now my chili is ruined and I'm simmering.
As my daughter was digging into my chocolate delight, someone dug through a water main. No water,
No bath.
no delight.
All because my neighbor didn't contact 811.
Okie 811 reminds you to contact 811 before digging.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/term. That's ethos.com/term. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
All right, 7:34, the Western Oklahoma Wake Up Show. We got John Matthews joining us now. How about that rain, man?
Hey, rain's a good thing. It's a great thing. We need every single bit of it we can possibly get. The question, of course, all parents have right now, at least those including in our two circles, are we playing baseball and softball tonight?
I know,
or
right?
When's that first message coming out from a parent? Hey, they canceled the games yet? And I guess that's a question. You're a professional meteorologist. You've been to training. You've been to the NOAA, if you will, in Norman. Are we playing baseball and softball tonight? And we're in Clinton tonight. I don't know where you're supposed to be.
It all depends on the fields. Now, positive things about Clinton, the baselines are grass.
True.
Which can help out, okay? Now, over in Weatherford at the Kiwanis Fields, it's more dirt. And I will say, we had practice last night.
Yeah.
And the infield was pretty muddy, just from a 1/100th of an inch of rain, and the sprinklers out there. So, but I think we're about done. You know,
Already?
another hour or so. Well, for this first batch.
Okay.
Okay. You know, next hour or two, most of it's going to move out of here. We're not going to have sunshine, you know, but if we see some upper 60s, it'll help a little bit. But I think it's going to be a muddy mess tonight. We were already talking to the coach, okay, what's the scenario, you know, for makeup, you know, and we might have to take one of our practice days and make up the games. But I don't think we're going to get storms tonight during game time. I think it's going to be overnight again. So if the fields are dry enough,
okay,
and it's all who wants to get out on the tractor, and rake it all up, and sometimes they bring in a little bit of extra dirt, to put down and mix with the mud. If they do that,
maybe there's a chance.
Yeah,
softball a little different because we are all infield, all dirt on the infield. We don't do the grass.
Yeah,
no matter where we go.
Really? Oh, okay.
Which is that's normal. Because you don't want those balls to take weird hops and things.
For sure.
So we'll see. All right, well, so Todd says no games tonight. All right.
I didn't say that for sure. Just, we'll see.
In the words of Kid Rock, I haven't seen the sunshine in 3 dang days. All right, it's just been...
I'm okay with that.
You're okay? This hasn't been gloomy and doomy for you?
No. We've needed rain for so long. Just the cloud cover from yesterday was enough to tell me I kind of dig this. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see what happens. Hopefully, Memorial Day shapes up for us.
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll hear all about it. It is a beautiful, beautiful Thursday, though. We're excited.